ba, jee ba ba doo ba, zippity ba 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 boo ba, zaba ba ba doo ba bow. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Karandrin Role Playing. My name is Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Crack Palantir, and this is episode 65 of Brise's Tale. And as always, my good buddy Brise, no, my good buddy Max is here to play Brise. I'm doing that more and more. Max, say hello to the lovely people.
Hi, everybody. Hope you enjoyed last week's session. We ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, if you remember. And we'll see how that resolves today.
Yeah, we have a fire beginning in the stables of this old goblin estate. Brise has some childhood trauma with fire and is really beginning to panic about the possibility of this heavily overgrown estate just becoming an inferno with her near it. But the other complication is that any minute now, and any time between now and sundown, which is in the next hour or so, um, we have Fraldrum, Lady Meagraw's court magician, appearing to discuss things with Brise, and she's going to appear right where the fire is beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So this is right after a battle with Delvain, one of the half maggot, half humanoid people that Brise had encountered earlier, and that battle caused the fire. So we're gonna jump right into it.
It also costs a lot of my gear, and
Oh man,
Nalani, my Falcon Familiar, is injured as well. So
yeah, Nalani got
having a rough
scorched
time.
by the vapor weapon that the Dalvain naturally possess. Um, so um, so yeah, it's been a mess. So
At least a hot mess, you might
it
say.
is a hot mess. Um, yeah, we got a lot going on, and these mountain slopes are not known for being without wind, and today is no exception. Um, so the fire is crackling in the rafters um, of the stables. It sounds like it's grown some, though not as fast as you feared.
Mm.
Um, Smoke is coming from the roof.
Yeah.
You sort of circle the building. No sparks have emerged yet from the building.
Okay.
What do you want to do, my dear friend?
Yeah, so I already took a look through all my spells and equipment and stuff. I don't really have anything that would help. So I think I'm going to go and seek out the Fae, the three Fae that have been flying around that are seem to be somewhat helpful, or at least maybe I could convince them to help. So I'm going to walk back toward the manor, and we're going to see if I can cast Ears of the Hare so I can kind of try to catch them talking nearby, which I have in the past.
All right. From your tome, is that right?
Yes.
All right. Now, you may want to take your time to do this. You're still at -15 for all actions
All right.
because of the burns you took from the yellow caustic cloud that the Delvain.
I'm also at 48 exhaustion out of 100. So
Yeah, you're kind of beat. So just take a few minutes.
yeah, let's keep the
And
fire out of view and let me
that's
just
right.
get them in my happy place.
Um,
All right. cast that up. It's an 80.
Nice. Erase 10 exhaustion.
Okay.
Roll for me.
52.
You're having to control your panic
Ooh.
because
Think
not
about that.
only can you hear the Fae better, you can hear the crackling of the fire better.
Oh.
But you're holding on. Roll for me.
Okay. 74.
And again.
67.
You definitely hear the Fae. They are arguing about your nature, about whether you are a destructive human, as they've always heard. And the argument, centers between two facts. One, you killed the Delvain, and that's a good deed in their mind. Apparently, that caustic cloud has cost them some of their friends. It's apparently very deadly to the Fae. And apparently the Delvain hunt and eat them.
Oh, interesting.
On top of that, the counter argument is that, yeah, but for some reason this human set fire to the stables. They sound as though they are hidden amongst the grass and have been watching you this whole time. They're relatively nearby, 20 feet, something like that. And I've just been following you around, which doesn't surprise you. You knew they were doing that for a while.
Right.
The question was, had they continued?
Well, you know what? I'll try. I'll just kind of, I don't need to know they're there, right? I'll just kind of shout out like, Faye, I need your help. Are you around?
Why don't you be more specific? Like, say, I need some way to put out this fire.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If only there was some way.
That's right.
Yeah,
if only there was some Fae to put out this fire.
Some Fae.
Just any Fae at all.
It's like, if you're listening, I really need your help to put out this fire that I didn't start.
And this is where we really get into the detailed nature of Karandrin. When the insurance investigators show up and, you get charged for insurance fraud.
Oh my gosh. You didn't have Dalvain insurance, but you did have
exactly
undead insurance.
Active Kevin insurance is, another thing that worries you, of course, are those invaluable works of art.
Yeah, this place is a lot of, also there's a couple really just beautiful ballrooms and things like that. It'd be a shame for it to be
be consumed. You hear them arguing amongst themselves. I do have abilities that will help. Very interesting. So they argue, they resolve on some course of action that you can't quite make out. I rolled a 1 for that. As they begin to chant together. An idea occurs to you that you are, keeping in mind. And then as you've seen farmers uh, do, and you've heard farmers discuss in your childhood, doing back burning, right, where they will
Mm.
burn around a property first to make a natural fire break, and then they will burn they sort of do a burn around.
Right. So the fire doesn't, if it does catch fire, it doesn't spread.
Right.
Hmm.
Now, how to do that in a controlled way, you don't know yet, but it's at least an idea that you've seen executed
Right.
or discussed. They finish their chant. Clouds move in from who knows where. And it begins to rain, unfortunately, gently.
Well,
And you don't hear them anymore. Of course, there's a lot of background noise with the rain going on. Um, you pull up the hood of your cloak, and it's raining.
yeah. I'll shout a thank you. I answered my prayers, assuming that was them. And I just, I'll also say out loud, I'll continue to watch it, and hopefully it doesn't spread any further.
And you can hear the sizzling of drops as it drips in through the roofing.
Yeah. Lonnie is on my shoulder now. I mean, can she balance on my shoulder? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, she's.
So I still have my leather vest she can kind of rest on.
Right. Yeah, you've got your.
If I didn't have that, she'd be digging into my shoulder.
Right.
Hurt. So yeah, we'll just round the property again and kind of watch the fire, see if it's at least not spreading anymore because the rain, or it's the best.
Yeah, you're sort of.
And also, if Karandrin appears, I might need to help her if she
right
could appear, at any minute, like you said. So I should just kind of watch the area.
The youngest of the female fae emerges from the grass, hovers, about 30 feet away from you.
Mm.
And she does a cute little shrug, and she's like, "That's all we can do."
I ask, is there, perhaps someone else you could find, like someone you could find help from your people, or someone else
She looks aghast, and she's like, "We can't be seen talking to you."
Well, I'll hide. Just bring someone out here, put out the fire, and I'll.
You can't hide from the fae. Oh, you're pretty bird. And she comes closer and like glances at you, kind of really, checking you out, and it comes a little closer.
Yeah.
She says, "Nasty Delvain," and she flies over there and she touches it, and the feathers sprout back.
Whoa!
And you feel,
Holy smokes!
Feel the relief just wash over you from Nalani.
Wow.
Nalani turns and bows to the fae.
Oh. Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
And then she says, "You really should leave.
I
don't know if the rains will be enough."
I tell her I'm waiting for someone to meet me at this spot. I have to warn them if they appear. or help them.
She rolls her eyes. More humans?
There's a lot of us.
That's right.
8 billion.
That's right.
Are you used to it, sister?
And you hear, someone calls for her, and off she goes.
I just try to, ask her question before she leaves. It's like, you can do that all the time, to Nalani. Is that any animal or, and thank you.
To animals of worthy heart, we consider it our duty. Another scolding shout from the grass, and then she's off.
Okay. So they're so fickle, they don't stick around.
So the
Well, then
rain is, huh?
I'm just gonna stay, if I can find maybe a spot. I can sit in the the kitchen, right, and just look out the door, just kind of keep watching the fire.
Right.
I don't know how we want to, with my patience and everything, I can pace or walk around or
Yeah.
figure out. It's very important that I remain in this spot. I don't keep an eye on it. I know that's hard for me.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of head that way, but you're like, it's too far away, and you sort of come
Yeah.
back, and you just keep yourself, covered, beneath the reins, and so far the fire is not spread beyond the stables, but it is spread well within the stables.
Yeah.
There are
Okay.
now tongues of flame licking up through about half of the roof. You watch sparks go off the roof, and you just follow every one. You're just
Yeah.
you're tense.
Yeah, that's scary. I don't know if some sparks do catch the grass, if I could try to go over and stomp it out, if I'm brave enough to do that.
A small fire does start in the grasses.
Oh man.
What do you want to do? If you want to try it, you got to roll.
Yeah, go over there. Just
Roll
try
for
to stomp
roll
it out.
to see if you can get over there. If you can.
54.
I'm sure it'll be fine. You just sort of, you're sort of bouncing back and forth between the two fires.
Yeah.
It begins, that one in the grass begins to spread. It's the area about 6 feet across now.
Here's an idea. Should I disguise myself, go back to the keep, and try to warn Fraldrum?
Right. Try to get there, get in time,
Right.
And find her before she leaves.
Yeah.
Um,
Although I don't know if she's going to be, at the keep.
Right.
The alternative is, I know that I might be something I have to roll for, right? But it won't teleport you to somewhere that's unsafe, right? Like in the air or,
right,
over a volcano. Could it possibly teleport not within the burning stable, Would I maybe know that, or?
Yeah, that's really difficult to know. Yeah, the only way to know that is to test it. And you don't want to test it.
No, I don't want to test it. Yeah, I think it's best just to wait. Oh man, this is tense.
It's so interesting, right?
You're really powerless, yeah. But the best thing to do is just wait and
bouncing back and forth. You're doing circles around the stables, just checking for any fires just so you know what's going on.
Right.
There are some that you bring yourself to go and stamp out. You're a lot more comfortable getting it as soon as it hits. So now
Right.
you're chasing sparks when you see them go.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's been several minutes since that first fire, that second fire, I should say, has started. It seems to be dying down. It burned about it's a very irregular patch, about 10 feet across.
Okay.
That is on that's between you and the camp. So it's
Right.
toward the campsite is where that patch burned. There have been other smaller ones that have burned, but you've either caught them when they were only a foot or so in size, catching sort of undergrowth that isn't yet wet enough to
Right.
stop the fire. Um,
I mean, I'll use if it's small enough. I'll use my water skin too. You just pour some.
sure.
Walk around.
I mean, it's it. I mean, you're just.
Oh my gosh. This is so funny.
The rain though keeps going. I mean, it doesn't stop, and I mean, it's got to be. I mean, no telling what that 10-foot patch would have been without the rain.
Right.
I mean, that would have probably been it. Um,
Do 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 do.
Fraldrum's voice, after who knows how many hours of firefighting, um, appears booming over the meadow. You hear it boom over the meadow, calling your name. You look around, and she stands at the manor and
Okay.
is waving at you. You're out in the yards, running back and forth.
I'll trot on over.
She points at the stables and says, "Lightning?"
No,
Because it's cloudy and rainy.
yeah, no, it's Dalvain. If you're familiar with the creatures, it's fighting, ran into one, was fighting, and it ended up catching it on fire.
Lucky for you, the rain was here.
Yes. Very lucky. It isn't doing enough though. I've been trying to keep it from spreading. I was thankful you didn't appear in the midst of it.
That would be quite alarming. But you'll have to leave the fire. We have much to discuss. Much of it good.
Okay. I do. I mean, I do kind of say, if there's a lot of, what do I want to word this as? Do you think it will continue to spread, or will the rain quell it? It's hard to tell. I think this is a spot I wanted to return to. This manor, many valuables inside shouldn't be lost.
That is beyond you and I. This rain has a very sweet scent. It may be the work of Fae. It is perhaps in their best interest to quell the fire. I say we leave them to it. We have more to worry about than one manor.
I don't know how I feel about that. I suppose.
I imagine you feel conflicted.
Yeah, I do. I'm not sure. I'll tell her that. Actually, I have seen some Fae around. I think they are the ones who summon these clouds. They weren't here, just a minute before. I think they might be all. That might be all they can do.
The Fae are unlikely to have much to do with you and I. They particularly don't like dwarves, even though I'm not one of the local dwarves.
Okay. Well, you know what?
But look, we'll stay and talk here in the doorway. We'll watch the fire as long as we can. There's no reason we can't talk here.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, and I was about to say, out of character, that Brise would think like that what's happening at Mirror's Keep is more important. Technically, I do have to like make.
It's just this is just more immediate.
Right.
And it feels more in your wheelhouse than trying to combat a powerful sorceress, etc.
Right. But that's the big picture, unfortunately. So, okay, but yeah, I say that's good compromise. At least watch it while we talk.
Faramar has been released.
Okay.
Yet she refuses to leave her prison cell as an act of good faith. Still, Neagral has been impressed by her integrity and has brought couches and food to her prison cell to keep her comfortable.
Okay.
The door is kept open. Faramar refuses to leave. But she is seemingly beyond suspicion now.
Okay, good. Wow.
We also have convinced Mia Grawl that you are also uninvolved in the murder and that your intentions are good. But she is unwilling to allow you to leave the keep. You, so to speak, the illusionary version of you, you have been returned to your quarters with all your gear.
Right.
She still presses Faramar for answers regarding what this great threat is.
Okay.
That is our remaining point of contention. Her scouts also report increased activity by the eagles. Farms from all around are seeing them in far greater numbers, far more frequently than they've ever been seen. It turns out that Oshekra has convinced Korakyle to begin raiding and destroying all forces of evil that the eagles can spot from the air. But Korakyle's numbers are dwindling. They have already lost 3 eagles. But Korakyle will not be swayed by my arguments. The eagles have such a wide range that the power of threats that they are encountering are well beyond them.
Yeah.
They don't know until the battle begins. I mentioned 3 killed. There are another dozen injured and unable to fly.
Wow. Whew.
As I said, my counsels have been ignored.
Yeah. Um, I mentioned that Oshekra came and visited me as well while I was here, and he himself took on two giants, undead giants. It was they're definitely serious about this, which I suppose is good, but it's reckless for sure.
More reckless than you know.
Mm.
What is Verlag's to think about her forces being attacked over such a wide area?
This is true. She could try to capture, some of the eagles and find out what they know.
There is nothing stopping her from finding Korakyle himself.
I don't have anything to comment on because I talked with Verilag, but she didn't really. I will say that it was last night or 2 nights ago, Verilag did approach me, and I did speak with her. Um, um, she seemed, unsuspicious of any of this. She
Made no
didn't,
reference to the
right,
eagles and
right, made no reference to her forces, only that she's making progress. Um,
in what sense is she making progress?
well, in that her um, the forces she is mobilizing are, gathering strength, and her citadels are being built. Um, at least I think that's what she said. Right? I can scroll back up to the conversation, but
Brise has gone crazy and is reporting hallucinatory information.
yes,
Also, she's opening a
all.
line of fashion stores.
Uh, where was that? Read my book on the Fae. Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. She says her keep is under construction. Yeah, very seemed very just
Fairly mundane.
yeah, fairly mundane from her point of view. Sorry, but then I bring up on top of that, unfortunately, um, we definitely need to get Faramar out of there because Verilag might be coming to approach Miagral. Uh,
Approach her. Why?
Simply because of my involvement there at the keep. She simply asked what I was doing and um, seemed to take an interest in the politics between Algrid and Miagral. Might try to make Miagral an ally or present some, boon to her, gain her favor.
Well, then we are in an interesting situation.
Mm-hmm.
Faramar will not leave. She at first refused the food and drink provided to her, the more luxurious staples from Miagral's table, insisted on bread and water. But
Mm.
now she's at least accommodated us that far. I find it impossible to think that she will step out of that prison until Plesh returns. Have you had any word from Plesh?
I mean, along with Oshekra, he visited me soon after and said he was continuing on with Falramar's plans. Um, However, I kind of, point out that, but it was Falramar's plan. It seemed like she would be the one better to lead it, the caravan that they had secured. I'm not sure why she's not setting out to do that. Perhaps she doesn't know Plesh has already done that. We can bring that news to her.
Their mission is the mountains on the far side of the desert lands. Even the eagles could not traverse that distance easily and find them and bring word to them.
Right.
I was hoping we could find some way to speed Plesh's return and resolve this. The other idea is more dangerous and less honest, and that is to describe Verilag as an enemy, someone not to be trusted, so that she's barred entrance to Miagral's keep. But given that she's spoken with you about it so recently, I fear it would cast suspicion on you.
It would. And she knows I've been there some weeks now. She might even ask me to vouch for her, which would be very awkward. I think we'll have to play along if she does make an appearance.
I fear that we're coming to a point where we have no choice but to involve Miagral in the details. If we did so, it would release Falramar. We could trust Miagral then to reject any approaches by Verilag, and the keep would be safer, even though it would be one more person with knowledge of this great evil we hope to combat.
Right.
But you brought this great evil to our attention. The decision is yours.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I do think that for people like us, Verilag is, content with, not reading our minds or assuming we are disloyal. But with someone like Miagral, I think she would maybe use more drastic measures to ensure. That's what I fear is that she's going to press on Miagral and get the information she wants. Leaving Miagral in the dark, at least, prevents that from happening. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's an unfounded suspicion, but it's the same with Falramar, right? Falramar clearly knows could be interrogated by Verilag.
Have you? Oh, excuse me. Whew. Have you mentioned to Fraudrum that Verilag has access to the keep despite its defenses? She met you there once.
No, I would not have described it. Yeah.
Because that's sort of, her knowing that, if Fraudrum knew that, then it would suggest then that nothing can keep.
Yeah. I should bring that up now. And on top of that, I didn't mention this before, but Verilag did visit me once in my quarters at the keep. It was a brief visit, but was able to bypass any measures that were set up to keep her out.
Well, then, we will not tell Miagral. That leaves the question, do we warn her to ban entry to any new sorcerers and that sort of thing for a
That
time.
yes, possibly because
We
we can
believe
use
that this great evil is using them,
right,
which
and
will
we can
not
also
be dishonest. It will
and we
simply
can
be
use
vague,
Adabir's death as that as well, right? Some we think maybe it was related to
which it was.
some sorcery. Yeah, so keeping sorcerers out would be fine. Gotta write all this stuff down. Glance over at the fire. How's that doing?
Um, there are no new little fires that you can see.
Okay.
The stable top half is now engulfed and sending off sparks, but and large sparks and embers and so on. But it just seems too wet now to do anything.
To catch fire, yeah. Okay.
You know, you're worried about sparks making it into the interiors of buildings with no
Right.
windows and things like that. Well, all right then. What are your plans now? Will you
Well,
return to the keep?
yes, that is another point. I was visited by a lot of people in the last 2 days. Visited by Crowlem as well, and he knew that the illusion he knew the illusion in the keep for what it was. He seems to have think it's because there's a connection between us, like there's a connection between Verilag. So I think the plan of keeping an illusion at the keep to represent me, or you disguising yourself as me, might not go over. So I think it's best for me to indeed return to the keep, as Mirgral said, and serve out this time, as well as meet with Kralem's ally that he's enlisted to hear out their plans.
A spiritual connection. I know of no way to fake one of those. I guess we're lucky that they haven't approached you before now.
I managed to tell him that the illusion was just for what it was, which was laying low, staying away from the keep for that time. But we can't, do any more than that, I think. As soon as we bring other people, as soon as Crowlem finds out that other people are involved in his plan, other than me, it might be the same with Adabir. Can't risk that.
Well, in that case, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I look back at the fire and say, I believe so. Spend enough time here.
I'm going to cast invisibility on you.
Okay. And Nalani?
Actually, no, it won't be necessary. Won't be necessary because she has access to any point in the keep.
Right. She can teleport wherever she wants.
Right. So that won't be necessary. She can simply teleport directly to your room.
She knows the magic password, which was Fraldrum is awesome.
That's right. That's right.
Aldrin is the coolest wizard.
That's right.
Yeah, she could just teleport me into my room with Milani.
It's funny, even though she's sort of, the master of that keep, she can't have every point memorized. She's still
Right.
limited by it, so she actually can't go to your keep,
Can't
to
go to
your
my room, yeah.
specific room, but she'll find a place.
Right.
I know it's a little early, but we could have her teleport, have you appear at the keep, and then we could take a break,
Yeah, that
and
sounds good.
then we'll do our section at the keep. And
I mean, she's probably going to teleport me to like, some other keep in another world anyway. So
it's yeah, right. She's like, I was lying about everything going well, everything's going terribly, and now I've taken you to another world.
we've moved the keep to another dimension to get it safe.
That's right.
There's a big hole in the ground where you. Okay. Yeah. No, I say, I'm willing to have you teleport me.
So, takes you in hands, teleports. Um, guys appear in a nice little nook and keep. Um, and she says, with restrictions lifted on Faramar, she's free to receive visitors and messages if you wish to either see her or send word.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
will go
definitely.
speak with Mia Grawl and inform her of our new concern about any powerful magic users may be a part of this great evil.
Right.
I have now canceled the illusion within your chambers. The house guard has been lifted on your quarters and that whole home. You will be allowed into town, but only with escort.
Okay.
So we'll take a break right there.
Perfect.
With him having returned, having Brise returned um, to the keep, and then we'll be back in a few minutes. So we're going to stretch our legs and grab some drink. We hope you guys take the opportunity to do so as well. Thanks for hanging with us this long. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for waiting with us. Oh, look who it is.
It's me.
It's Max.
I'm here for
So
longer during the break. Can't you tell? Hey, something I forgot to mention to Fraldrum. Can we just, edit in the
yes,
conversation? Just tell her that I wasn't able to contact the Trinidas or the Flower Children. There's a chance they might reappear in the keep again. I told them not to, but there's no. I'm not sure if they know. You know, um,
did they set off alarms last time, or did they not?
they did set off alarms, and I told them, hey, make it brief. It's like you shouldn't be here, but I can schedule another time for them specifically to meet them. So
Um, she takes that as adequate, and um, she may modify. She's going to look into modifying the defenses to permit them entry, but
interesting.
that could take a couple of days of spell casting, and
Right, I
right now
imagine.
they're just more pressing matters, at hand.
Okay.
Um, so, what's next on your agenda? She goes off to speak to Mia Grawl. Um,
Well, I want to make sure that Nalani's doing so. Want to make sure Nalani's doing okay. I don't know. I mean, she looks healed, right? Like I don't know if I should. I'm supposed to keep her on my shoulder, right, on the keep. So,
yeah,
if there's any physician for animals, is there any kind of hawk master? What are they called? Not hawkers. People who would have take care of birds.
right. Yeah,
Rich
people in
people birds.
falconry and that sort of thing.
Yeah, falconers. Yeah. If
Um,
the keep has one, I would like to have checked for any kind of injury.
ask a passing guard. Um, no, the Lady Mia Grawl um, disdains such sport as elven foolishness.
Yep, sounds about right. Okay. We'll need to in town, I guess. Yeah. I asked that same person. Well, is there anybody who could? I think my familiar here is sick. Anyone to take a look at
You're not
them?
going to say familiar, right? My pet.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my pet here is sick. Is there anyone who could be qualified to look at them at the keep?
There are physicians here. Perhaps they could see to the animal. He says, to tell you the truth, though, it looks a fine, strong bird.
Okay. Well, then we'll maybe wait a few days and see how she feels. But, okay. Fine, strong bird. Looks tasty.
So good. What's your secret
meaty?
spices?
Okay.
Oh, what's your secret herbs and spices? There must be like 7 of them. The first 6 are salt.
Is it Dr. Pepper is 12 and then KFC is 7, or is it?
Yeah, I think it's right. 7 herbs and spices. Wait, is it 12 herbs and spices? I can't remember.
Dr. Pepper has 12 spices or something. They say
it tastes like it. It tastes like that's a confusing mess. That's what Dr. Pepper tastes like.
Oh man, I hope. Damn, I hope Michelle's not watching.
I know. Or Obi-Wan Karen. If Obi-Wan Karen were even nearby, I would be dead.
Drink. It's also the drink of Texas. It's in Plano. It's their headquarters.
It is. It is. Um,
Anyway, man, I really want a Dr. Pepper now. Another thing I have to do is buy a bunch of equipment because right now, I guess I'm wearing shoes or socks. I don't know what I would be wearing. I'm assuming I have like a pair of
Bindings.
shoes. I think I have written down here. I would have just slipped on, But
Now covered in ash, soot, and
exactly. So, um,
oh
honestly, we
man,
probably want to get cleaned up first. It probably
oh
shouldn't
yeah.
go drop
Here's a
off.
question: what would have happened if the so let's say the grass caught fire throughout the estate? Would it have aerosolized the mucus of the Dalvane and made this caustic smoke?
Oh no! Oh man, this is like the cursing, the cursing, the blessing and the curse of Karandrin. It's like organic world building. It's like, well,
Right.
this is what you have
Very
to deal with.
tall. Yeah,
Wherever the Dalvane are, they can cause fire and they have acidic slime trails.
that's right.
Which is really funny. They are kind of like a very destructive creature. The way they just
Yeah, I mean it's sort
tend
of
to
like
destroy a lot of things.
it's like the area. It's like they make the area only suitable for them in a way.
Right. Very much kind of like the classic idea of an evil creature. It's like these things
Right.
kind of like invasive species. They just
Right.
overhunt and make it impossible for others to live there. Okay. So I do need to go shopping, but maybe we can do that out of session or something because like
Yeah,
backpack, boots,
we could do that.
items.
We
So
could do that out of session.
we could say I spend a couple hours around the keep. I guess would the keep have like a general supply, for like
Um,
backpacks and that sort of stuff?
possible, but you have to go to town anyway to get a lot of this stuff anyhow.
Right.
So
Right.
what we could do, particularly given your schedule in the next couple of weeks, is maybe write me out a list of replacement items, and then I'll just go through and do your shopping, and we can handle that
Yeah.
otherwise.
Okay. True.
There will be guys. There will be a schedule announcement at the end because we've got some complex schedule stuff coming up, and we're going to get it posted on the website as well, so you can refer back. And I'll try to keep on top of doing announcements to remind everybody each week.
Right.
Um, so, um, yeah, just stay tuned for that. At the end of the stream, we'll talk about the scheduling stuff, and like I said, there'll be a post on the website, keep everyone up to date. So go to
So
your
I'll do
room.
that. Yeah.
Certainly, get washed
And
up.
yeah, wash
Certainly,
up and get in some
um,
comfier clothes.
send your other clothes off to be washed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you find an envelope under your door when you get to your room. You hang Malkarth up on some tapestry hooks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, there is the envelope is addressed to you. You open it up. It's a note from Tegrav. It tells you that he wishes he could have gotten to know you better, but he has left the keep with Miagral's blessing, and he himself has forsaken magic.
Oh wow.
And he leaves you an onyx and silver ring. That as soon as you touch it, you know it's magical.
Mm.
it transforms into a plus 20 magic lockpick set.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
It's a very nice ring. You've seen it's like for, around 100 gold in terms of not its magical property, just
Right.
the
Wow.
quality of the make of it.
Wow, that's really interesting. Tegra, this guy was gonna betray us and try to clamber for power. Ended up
Yeah. He's a
really doing
broken
away with
man
it.
now. He is messed up. I rolled
Yeah.
so many things for him when he found Adabir's body.
Oh,
For any new viewer, Adabir was a wizard helping Brise tried to undo the power of Verlag and Kralum, and Adabir wound up being incinerated from the boots up. And it was Tegra who found the body. It was Tegra who was second to find the body, and it just seeing that sort of horror just shattered him. And
yeah.
so, but there was a real feeling among the group that he was going to betray them. Um,
Crazy. Let me write. So onyx ring. Well, for posterity, I won't be wearing that, but I will put it in my pouch.
okay. Um,
Very, very nice onyx ring.
so,
Oh, that is interesting. Okay. Speaking of which, I didn't mention about Aldrif to Fraldrim. I imagine it's still probably not wise to go see him. She would probably say. I don't know.
um,
Have
I
slowed down.
imagine you're too beat to see him.
Well, no, but I mean just to ask how he has been, and
Right,
when I could see him. So
right.
no, yeah, definitely want to just.
What do you want to send? I mean, you probably want to send word to Faramar. I mean, it's already evening, early evening,
Yes.
and getting
Yeah.
later in the game, I should say, not in the
Yeah.
real world. Um, um, and so,
Yeah. I would like to talk to Faramar in person, so maybe I could just send word that we could speak tomorrow.
well, you at least send word also that you're back and you're
Right.
well.
Right.
Um,
Well, I can't say that because she thought I was here,
that's true. You
right?
can't say you're back, right? But
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're well
Yes.
and receiving
Absolutely. Yeah.
visitors.
That would be the
And just
polite
say,
thing.
yeah, I'll come to see you tomorrow.
Yep.
And then send word to Fraldrum about Aldrich's status.
Come back, I'll just become an adventurer and is better than me now. I'm like, what?
That's
For
hilarious.
3 weeks I haven't seen him.
That's right. I need to get out. There we go. Oh, it's interesting. If you're going to be an escort out from the keep, if you're going to be escorted while you're out from the keep, then that means your escort's going to get a rude awakening when the flower children pop in.
Right. Typically they only appear when I'm alone, but yeah, who's to say? I just haven't gotten lucky thus far.
Right. I mean, you've been alone a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I could also try to shake him, for oops, I lost you in the crowd.
Yeah.
And see if I can be alone for a little while, but I'll keep that in mind.
Um,
So, Kevin, I can be an escort myself. I mean, I can escort myself.
that's right.
You see these looks?
That's right. It's the dream of every Every role player.
Okay. Yeah, so I would just say we spend the rest of the day, get some dinner, spend the rest of the day relaxing, do some reading, and then yeah, go to bed.
Yeah, the stress of the day hits you pretty hard after
Right,
your
I've been like battling and sneaking around and doing a lot.
and then an hour or two dealing with the fire.
Right.
Um, so probably, well, you have to tend to that tomorrow, I guess. You got to remember that Nalani needs to hunt.
Hmm.
Or
Well, I mean, I'll probably get some meat from the kitchens.
yeah,
She can't. I mean, I guess I could leave the keep with an escort to have her hunt.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you pass out right after dinner. I mean,
Sweet.
you're
Pass
out
out
of it.
at dinner.
That's right. Again. Um, so let's do your wake up rolls.
All right. Waking up with a 61, 24, and 87.
Crack of dawn, no dreams, feeling great. No illnesses. You've no real events or news during the night.
Okay.
Make a note here. So we're on the 14th now.
Yes, May 14th. One day before my birthday.
There you go.
Not Breeze's birthday. We're going to try to reach Breeze's birthday. What was it? December 20th.
That's right. We're going to do our best.
Kevin, I just want to, like, every day I'm just not going to do anything until Breeze's birthday, until December 20th.
It's the only way to stay alive.
Honestly, yeah. Just wait around. Hang out with Aldrich. Okay. So wake up the next morning. What do we got on the agenda today? I do need to. So, do we want to throw potions and herbs on the shopping list too? I know that
Anything you want.
potion store is here in the keep, so I could just visit that.
Right. But we can, yeah, but I'll handle all that.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I do
for
want to check on my adder helm if it's mended itself a little bit. It was damaged when I fumbled the spell with it 2 days ago.
It is back to normal.
Oh, sweet. Okay. That is good. Yeah, I wish I was kind of observing it more closely. I don't know when it got better, or how long, right? I left it in my pouch for a while.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Got that done. One thing I want to do is have here making a case for Nalkarth so I can kind of carry him around in public, and not arouse too much suspicion, or when Bearlag is nearby,
Oh, just to hide him.
Yeah, I do wonder, is that another thing in the town, or do you think I could go around the keep and find someone who...
There certainly would be leather working here.
Right.
So I would think, I think you could find someone to do it here, and being a guest to have it done.
Okay, let me see if I can ask around for any of the keep's skilled leather workers.
Well, you do your, morning ablutions and so on.
Right.
Get ready for the day. There are 2 notes under your door.
Okay.
Fraldrum has released Aldrich from care, and he is back in his quarters. Um, um, there and there's a note from and Mia Grawl has taken Fraldrum's advice and will admit no powerful wizards into the castle for an audience
Okay.
for the next week or so. The That's her two pieces of news. Falramar um, um, says that she would welcome a visit by you. She's glad, that you have not been unharmed, or you've not been harmed in
Mm.
this, in all of this. She also says she has news of Plesh.
Oh.
Um, and that things there are going well.
Okay.
Um, when you open the door to set off for breakfast, there are two notes outside your door. One from Doshrik
I just
saying,
throw them all away. There's too much
too much
mail.
reading.
Chunk of
I
mail.
got spell lists to learn. What am I doing? Doshrik is glad you were released from prison and that you are now no longer under suspicion.
Right.
And um, Bathrin leaves a note saying um, that now that you're released from prison, she sort of washes her hands of you. Not in I don't mean it in that the tone is not that callous. It's actually a little warm. That
Okay.
she is now leaving knowing that you're safe,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and
think the last time I spoke with her was we had that tussle in the volcano. Because
Yeah,
then, she wait, no, what happened? She cast the illusion that knocked her out. Yeah, and then I brought her back here, and she was under
right.
her care. Yeah. Okay. But
Um,
so I guess then she's also. I guess all the apprentices are probably leaving, right?
Doshrik's note. Um,
Hmm.
he'd like to see you. Um, Unlike the others, he says he's decided to stay on with the task.
Okay.
Um, uh, and so it's possible you'll see him at breakfast. You know,
Yeah.
um,
That's nice. I need to remember my feelings toward Dodger. I think he was pretty kind.
roll for me.
79. Yeah, I remember Doshrik let me accompany me into town. He kind of evacuated me from the keep a couple weeks ago. Things were getting hairy. So yeah, I'd like to see him again. We'll go down to breakfast then. And sounds like there's going to be a lot of meetings today. We'll just see if we can find whoever's around kind of first.
Doshrik is in the downstairs parlor where you met with Faramar and Plesh that meeting,
Yeah.
and when they were arrested, which was a crazy session. Um, they are uh, so there's a large spread out, knowing that you're back and everything. Um, he rises and bows his long bird neck
Mm-hmm.
at you. He's always hooded so as not to disturb others.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm just kind of glad to see you are well.
You too. I feared for your execution for a while. Lady Mia Grawl is perhaps more reasonable than we were led to believe.
It's interesting. I know Brise doesn't really like maintaining lies and like farces, but I kind of have to for this.
Right.
Um, say, yeah, but she is just, she knows, uh, um, fair process. You had no part in this, and trusted her to figure that out. So
I'm sure that Burla would wish to be here to greet you as well, but he left yesterday morning.
yeah,
He is going to take the news of Adabir's death to his daughter in person. Um, they'll be back later for various effects. It's crazy. Like you think back on like the early days here in the keep, right?
mm-hmm.
And like there was so much worry about the espionage and like eavesdropping and all of that is, I mean, it's still present, of course. People are going to report to Mia Grawl and things like that, but like things have gone so off the rails in that direction,
Yeah,
away from that like,
yes,
there's so many other things to worry about now. It's interesting, but you can't. All you can do is react in the moment. That's all you can
I
do.
know.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, I think about that a lot. I have all these reminders about like, I shouldn't say this around this person, or like then watch out for like these people. But then like, yeah, Adabir dies. It's like, okay, well that's kind of out the window now,
right?
more pressing concerns. I tell Doshrik that I'm glad you're remaining too. We'll have some more people to continue the work that Adabir left. There is a lot of it.
Well, hopefully, one plan or another will resolve things to everyone's satisfaction. I can't say that I am sad that Tegrib's leaving.
Right.
I never cared for him or trusted him. It is good that he is gone. I
Can we
feel
just
like we
gossip?
can.
Can we just gossip about Tegrib? It's like,
That's
hey, he
it.
kept trying to give me gifts. Like, God,
That's,
get a hint, dude.
and Josh was
I mean,
like,
I
"Me
love your
too."
+20 ring and your +10 pearl necklace, but
I had a 20-pound bag of birdseed. It was.
he just keeps giving gifts to. Oh my gosh.
I have heard that Faramar too has been released, but refuses to leave her cell.
Yes.
The guards think she's insane. You can hear them talking openly about her in the courtyard.
I say she's stuck in her ways for being have lived that long. Hey, I imagine you have developed a lot of patience. Something I'm sorely lacking.
You're young. You will learn. There, among my bird people, there's a saying: the early bird. Never mind.
Really.
The watched wormhole never produces. Um, I am to meet with Fraudrum and her apprentices this evening to basically be initiated into her service and to
Okay.
find out what the next steps are. Officially, uh, all of Adabir's research, quote unquote, is finished. Uh, it's it's openly known that we will not be continuing because it would be impossible to continue without Adabir himself.
Right.
Um, so you guys eat. Is there anything you need to get out of the conversation?
I don't think so. Trying to remember the last time I saw Doshrik. I don't think anything came up that he needs to know about. I mean, I might. He knows about Kralm. I might just kind of keep him in the loop and say that Kralm is still in a low voice. Kralm is still about and still is seeking his own plans. From where Adabir left off as well. So um, just be wary of that.
He approached Badrin about helping him. Asked if she would be willing to teleport an accomplice to the volcano. Would not give the name of the accomplice. It's someone here in the keep. Badrin, according to her, refused to do so without permission of Fraudrum. Kralum grew indignant and said that he need the leave of no one to visit his own prison.
And I say, well, I think Kralm will try me next.
What will you say?
I mean, the way I see it is I have to at least go along with his plans, else put more people at risk. Well, I guess I could refuse, couldn't I?
Well, the thing is, though, I mean, it's sort of...
I should go along with it because creating friction between Kralum could make him, like I said, spiteful, right? And it is possibly a solution.
Well, and your death is not what he needs until he's free.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? Even... I mean, I guess he could cause you pain, but he couldn't cause you... He can't incapacitate you, or else he risks never being freed.
Right. I mean, if he got someone to kidnap me, it was high enough to do the same thing Verlag would want to do, keep me alive. But
roll for me.
35.
Oh my God, that's literally 1 point. I'll give it to you. So your ruminations about kidnapping, you go, oh, the perfect ally for Kralum in that regard, in terms of manpower, is that cutthroat gate captain.
Oh, right. He knows already a little bit about him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that kind of, I mean, that really sets a note of alarm in your head, because that man, I mean, he is a bastard, executes his own men.
Yeah.
And would love to have a chance to bring you some comeuppance, after you dressed him down. And so it just, leaves you a note in your head to watch how guards act towards you,
Right.
that sort of thing.
But right. So I'd say to Doshrik is, it's best to be informed of his plans. So might as well, comply with them. And he did say it is possible his, what was his estimate again? In a few weeks, He did say his plans might take a few weeks. This current
Yeah.
scheme he's concocted. If it doesn't require, large sacrifices, it might be worth pursuing the avenue.
Right.
And I just kind of tell him, I can't risk what the same thing would happen with Adabir, having someone be in my stead to try to.
I don't think Doshrik knows about the.
Oh, he doesn't. That's right.
So
only Fraldrim. I should write that down. Only Fraldrim and I.
Kralum, of course.
Kralum, yeah. only Doshrik, I, and Verilak. What? Uh-oh.
That's right.
Yeah, otherwise, nothing else I really need to talk to Doshrik about. Might ask him some magical questions. I think I had some. No, yeah, never mind. So yeah, we'll just kind of keep going through breakfast, and I will. After that, I'll see if I can go visit Aldrich and talk with him. Now I need to look up when the last time I saw Aldrich was. Good.
So yeah, so they, so you guys chit chat. He finishes breakfast, gives you sort of an affectionate squeeze of the shoulder, and off you go. Your respect for Doshrik has certainly grown.
Yeah.
He wants to see things through the end. And he seeks to, fight against evil, just even if it puts him at risk.
So just for reference, the last time I saw Aldrich was on the 6th.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's been a week and a half. I just had lunch, and then that's when everything started to go south. And
So, Aldrich is going to be at work if he's
true, yeah, he's probably working during the day, so I should send him a note saying, dinner and catch up.
Right, dinner and puppet shadows, since there's no movies.
No Netflix and chill, yeah.
No Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill spell.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, what would be like a medieval Netflix yield? Flick the net. Let's go flick the net.
That's right.
I never realized, but that's why it's called Netflix, because it's like flicks, like films you watch on the internet.
Over the internet.
First streaming kind of service, yeah.
And enormously successful. I mean, they really, like, when they came out and when they went digital, like their interface, they got it right.
They really did.
Right off the bat. It remains, in my opinion, the best interface.
Yes. Even today, you go into some streaming service and you're like, I don't understand how to navigate this. Like, where's my show? Like, how do I get to this episode? But yeah, Netflix.
Right. We have problems with Hulu. Like, if you let Hulu go to sleep, like, so let's say you watch 3 episodes in a row and then Hulu goes to sleep. Okay. If you come back and hit play, it doesn't play episode 4. It plays episode 1.
Oh my gosh.
And we're like, why? Why would you're keeping, and it'll show that you've watched these 3. All of that is correct, but it it goes to your earliest continuous play point,
Yeah.
and so irritating. And yeah, but Netflix is just fantastic. But
My favorite story is HBO Max on like a tablet. I have a little Bluetooth keyboard. If that Bluetooth keyboard connects or disconnects, it crashes. No reason. I'll be in the middle of a show and then it just like disconnects because it times out, and then the show just quits. I'm like, well, I gotta pull it up again, go here, and again, thankfully it remembers where it was, but it's so just like
that
goofy.
keyboard, it's so important to the enjoyment of movies. It's so important.
Exactly. Without it, how would I type in my review of the movie as it's
Oh, we know he's not liking this one. Unplug, and crash.
my review of this movie, parentheses, I'm currently halfway through it, is it's terrible.
It ends
Um,
abruptly. That's all your reviews. Ended abruptly. Ended abruptly.
yeah, I just
Unsatisfying
pause it.
ending.
And look. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Uh,
right. So we're gonna send Aldrich a note asking that. Um, boom, boom, boom. We'll go. We'll go visit Falrenar
Farmar.
then. Mhm. Ooh. I was saying, I don't know how, like a gift for Aldrich or something. It's been so long. I just would feel nice. I don't know how to role play that really well without being super awkward, but if you want to consider it,
Well, we don't have to do the verbiage, but
yeah, you
you
could
could. Yeah,
maybe,
I mean, it's something you can think of. Maybe in your next adventure is like finding him something to bring back. Like I don't know. Like let's say you found the feather of some magical bird or something.
right,
You
something
know,
he would like, yeah,
and it's a token of the adventure.
right.
Of the fact that you guys were apart. Um, so um, yeah, you go down. You're led down to the dungeons. They are um, in the very back of the keep.
Mm.
There's a small sort of bailey um, that's easy to defend, and apparently it's carved into the back of the mountain.
Oh, cool.
And
Bailey is a really funny name for a prison, by the way. Oh, stop down by the Bailey.
that's right.
Kind of
I
false.
wonder if it's related to bailiff. I don't
Yeah,
know.
probably.
So you're led down there. Um, you sort of get a ominous sense of Lady Mia Brawl because let's just say she has lots of rooms and lots of guests in the dungeon. Um,
Interesting. Hmm.
um,
You know a noble's temperament by the size of their prison.
and yeah, and its percentage of occupancy.
Yeah, how full their prisons are.
You're led to the far back. There are numerous guards there. Um, roll for me.
36.
Okay. And there's light spilling out of an open door. Um, it's the only pleasant smelling room in the place. Um, there is a small but sumptuous bed, and there is a couch and a chair. There's a charcoal brazier for warmth in the
Mm.
seating area, and there are large torch lamps lighting the room. Um, Falramar sits in a chair. Um, she's dressed in a simple undergown. Um, uh, She rises and like rises very suddenly and approaches you, and then so slows herself, catches herself. She apparently doesn't like to show a great deal of affection.
Right.
And she comes to you and she'll take you by the elbows and she says, I hope you have not suffered overly.
No, it's actually was very, very mild. Um, and same for you. Though it looks like you've quite the setup here now.
Yes, of late my stay has been made more comfortable. I'm sure you've heard that I will not leave.
Right. I should also just probably Reese would also just start off before that. I would apologize first. For I'm sorry I asked for you to come here. Knowing this would happen. I wish I could have. I actually say I saw your arrest at the gates, but I couldn't speak to you then. So thank you again for um, doing this.
It had to be done, just as you had to ask me to come. And it's all for the best. We have now Mia Grawl at least not against us.
Mm-hmm.
I feared that she would learn of Oshekra's reputation and hire Oshekra to hunt us down. And that for all of our powers, Oshekra is extremely ruthless. And I fear that that would have given him an edge.
Right.
Plesh, for all his cunning, is elderly. And I am simply not the cunning sort.
Mm.
I think it would have been a hunt in which we would have definitively been the prey and been caught. But speaking of Plesh, one of the creatures is now secured. They seek
Okay.
another, and they
Okay.
are on its tail as of last night. They want two, so they can work on two manacles at a time.
That's great news. I'm glad it's going smoothly. And I question, although, do you think Plesh can handle that all on his own? Um,
He will
without,
have to have help to control more than one animal. So when Plesh returns, that is when I will free myself. That is
okay.
when I will leave. Until that time, I am here as a token of goodwill, a token of trust. And then, with Plesh's return, we will be ready to act. Um,
Okay. So I need to remember. So Plesh knows about my connection with Verilag, but I don't believe Falramar does. She knows of Verilag.
um, right, not this with a spiritual connection, no.
Right. So I will mention that there are some changes possibly coming to the keep, though. You should be warned. Sorceress Verilag might make an appearance here, and it would be
Oh,
dangerous.
I wonder if you should communicate that to Crowlem somehow.
I did already.
Did you?
Yeah, I mentioned
Okay.
that Verilag might be appearing in Miagral's keep, so you should.
Okay. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure.
And you
Certainly
just
wins points with him to be given
right,
that warning, but it's also a necessary warning.
right, right. So I just mentioned that we should be wary if she comes here and um, has knowledge of us plotting against her. Then it might be wise for you to actually be further from the keep and not be here. Though I understand your the position you're in.
I may need to ask Fraudrum to allow me leave to teleport through the defenses.
Okay.
And that way I could leave at an instant's notice. But only when I'm told. I would have to know that she's here. I will speak with Fraudrum. They have left me pen and paper.
Okay. Fraudrum. Right, and I'd say hopefully there'll be no need. We have already warned Mirgral not to permit any powerful sorceresses or sorcerers that might seek to influence her. Trying to be as vague as possible, but just in case.
Well, hopefully that will be an end of it then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, is there anything else here that needs?
I don't think so. Yeah, I really just wanted to make sure she was okay, and again, thank her for doing that appearance. It sounds like that's progress is going well there. Yeah, there's no real need to bring up talking with Kralum. I don't think in that plan, unless I do need her help with that. Later on maybe.
Right. Yeah, I would think. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Of course, you can always come back to her now that she's free to have visitors.
Right. But yeah, no. So then we can just talk casually and just kind of end the conversation whenever.
Right.
Who was in the vetch again? Was that only Plesh?
Well, Plesh stopped by and made contact with Overdal.
Right, but not Fallamar. Okay, so I was going to ask me.
Right.
That was only Plesh. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll have you leave and maybe go back to your quarters. And
what about Leatherworker? I'm gonna try to just.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, we can do that. We can do that. After the off stream, because that's sort of along the lines of shopping.
Right.
Obi-Wan's defending Dr. Pepper. I noticed in the chat. That seems unfair and inaccurate. So let's we'll wrap it up here. So
probably early morning. Yeah.
Yes, early morning, mid morning maybe. So we've got a reminder again, and we'll post this on the website in the next couple of days. We've got some scheduling things coming up that's for the next 4 to 6 weeks. That's going to be a little weird. So we're going to have those posted. Our next episode is actually going to be on September 30th. It's already scheduled on YouTube, so you can always check there. But like I said, we'll have it on the website. Otherwise, we just want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. And for another episode, we'll definitely be back. I'm trying to get rid of that caption. There it is. So, but as always, thank you all for hanging out with us. Please check out the website. We're gonna have more content up in another week or so. We're gonna have a couple of new articles. If you think we're doing a great job, hey, hop to donor box and send us a little money. If you're always hungering to see more of Max, you can check out him on his YouTube channel where he discusses.
Why wouldn't you be?
And why wouldn't you be hungering for Max? Where he discusses the role of music and original soundtracks in video games. As always, thanks to Elliot Dunovitz for the terrific character art for Brise. You can find more of that artist's work at artstation.com//Tortolua. And I've written a novel I'm really tickled with called A Shore to Fire. You can find it on Amazon just by following the link below and in the notes. But we always appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll be back September 30th for episode 66. And Max, say goodbye to the lovely people.
Bye, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this kind of more calm session. Liked it. And yeah, we'll see you in a few weeks.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for everything, everyone.